Welcome to EJH British Cars. So today we're going to prep the rear of the car for paint, which is the rear deck panel that we fixed. We're going to paint that, and there's also some little odds and ends of welding to take care of. We'll probably do that at the same time, so they're in the same area. So let's get started. Here's the rear deck. After I got it all welded in, and I put some Bondo in here to fill up that seam. And then we use the metal prep compound, which is basically an acid edge, but also has false ferrite. Also has the rust converter in it. So that's what these black dots are. But we need to, this is kind of a coarse surface. We will need to just rub that down with a Scotch-Brite. And also we've got this hole through the body right here, so we need to put a patch in there. We're going to do the wheel wells. We basically just need to rub those down with the Scotch-Brite. Didn't run out, so we don't need to fix that, so that's good, but I may take the time to go ahead and get this panel back on. And we'll also be painting this rear arch there. Getting started on this little patch here. It's interesting, this piece of sheet metal comes up, and then it actually has a little Z-bend in it here. It continues up, and on the inside, this piece of metal, the base of this gutter, turns 90 and comes up there. And they're both rotted out. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is if I cut this piece just to the Z notch, and then on the inside, I cut to the top of where it's rotted, I'm thinking I can slide this under that edge and then butt weld it here, and then just put a seam across there, and we'll fix both panels with one piece of steel, and we'll be good to go. It should be a little bit easier. So I've marked this out. I'm going to take the die grinder and just cut that out, and then we'll have to cut the inside out after. Well, there's the first tab just held in with a magnet. This thing is a little thinner than I was hoping for, but that's where we'll start. We're probably going to have to do something on the inside here because that's just paper thin down at the bottom. But I'm going to weld that tab in first. Well, it's not pretty, but it's there and it's hidden. This was really thin, but it's got a new piece welded in here. I also laid a piece in underneath. That comes back and it actually wraps this corner. And I just sort of filled that with weld. I was using a small die grinder stone to clean that up, and I actually wore it out to the point where it broke in half, where there was so little left. But I'd got my use out of it. I'll just go pick up another one. They're inexpensive enough. So just doing a little prep for my primer paint. One thing I've noticed with this surface press stuff, it leaves this sort of dusty film that I just use a piece of Scotch-Brite to wipe it off. But if you don't do that, it's like painting over sand. You don't have a very good surface. So it just takes a few seconds to wipe this down. It's really easy. But it's something you should do prior to painting. And then I'm going to blow this off with an air gun. And then I'm going to use some prep sol, tech wipe, whatever they call it, just to clean it off a little bit. And then we'll paint just some Rust-Oleum on it just to keep it from rusting. And here it is, all in primer. So the only thing really left on the tub to do is this rear panel, which there's a little dent in here somewhere I still need to knock out. And we need just to clean and paint the inner wheel wells, and I'll need to, you see I welded up those holes finally. I just need to knock them off on this side, which is pretty easy. And I was toying with the idea, these are seatbelt mounting points. I've got some big seatbelt washers. I might go ahead and just weld them on so they'll be there and not have to have to work on the inside and the outside of the body at the same time. This seems like a good idea. Even from the factory when they use them, they have big metal washers that are just there. They're not welded in. But while I got this apart, it might be a good time just to, wouldn't take much, 3 or 4 tacks around the edge, and it'll be done. So hope you enjoyed all that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and join. And we will see you next time.